Hey everyone, and welcome to Astrology for the People. This is the new moon in Scorpio, just in time for Halloween. And yeah, it's exciting. So it's happening at 3:39 on Monday, the 31st of October, 2016. So that's Australian Eastern Standard Time, an hour later for daylight savings, of course. And I want to dive in and share a little bit of what's going on with you. It's a very textbook Scorpio time, but we've also got some interesting stuff going on with a square to Neptune. Not a square, a trine. Yo, Sun trine Neptune, so the new moon is trine Neptune. We have the square between Jupiter and Pluto, so this is the other interesting dynamic that's going on. So I'll just invite everyone to take a breath and take a moment to just sink into where we are this moment, with an attitude of curiosity, with an attitude of trust in what's unfolding, taking a moment to just breathe and open a little into whatever's here for you, because that is the crucial first step to transformation, is the creation of space. Without space, things become stuck. And when we try to suppress or we resist, we lock these energies into place that are actually trying to move. So the more we can open and create space for what's happening for us on a sensory level or on an emotional level, the quicker we can move into that transformative alchemical space that Scorpio is really about. So Scorpio in its essence is deep transformation. It's letting go. It's surrender. It's also union. It's also sex. It's this beautiful coming together that happens. But when we come together with other people, we're inevitably invited to transform. And so this is where the true power of Scorpio lies. Because as much as we are, of course, self-reliant, emotional human beings in all of our spiritual righteousness, we will change for others when we wouldn't change for ourselves. And this isn't about changing who we are. It's about being willing to grow and transform. It's also about recognizing that we can't control other people. And the only thing that we can actually come close to controlling is our own choice, our own actions. And so as we can start to open into that understanding and realize that it's not up to us to try and change that other person, and that our true personal power very much lies inwards, not in our ability to control the circumstances around us, we find a new relationship with our sense of power that isn't based in control. It's based in connection, and it's based in inward listening, whereby we can go, this works for me, this doesn't work for me, what are my choices here? Rather than it being focused on, you need to change, you need to do this, this is wrong with what you're doing. So that's kind of the first piece that I wanted to put on the table. Although if you ask me what I just said, I probably couldn't tell you, because it just kind of, yeah, part of the fun, hey? Mercury is part of this new moon as well. It's within 2 degrees. And so we have the logical mind supporting us in this trine between Neptune and the new moon, which is a powerful time for visioning, and it's a powerful time for deep spiritual work with all of this Scorpio energy present. So we can take our logical mind into the underworld a little bit at the moment, which is normally not that easy to do when Mercury is direct. So it's interesting to have this kind of supporting us on one hand, and then on the other hand, it also being a little bit kind of erratic and fast moving. Whenever we find Mercury conjunct the new moon, it can tend to be a bit of a high energy, potentially anxious time. And I've been noticing that as well. It's easy to kind of get peppy at the moment. And often we're trying to get peppy because we're in avoidance. So this is another thing to be aware of. If you find yourself moving quickly, what are you trying not to feel? And there is the magic question right there, because as you guide your mind out of avoidance mode and into curious opening to what's there, that's when we get this alchemical space. There we go. That's what I was talking about. That's when we get this space that I mentioned. So I'll see what else I had to share with you, beauties. I need to take another breath. I know that for sure. I'm a naturally high energy person. So if you'd like to join me, we'll do one more breath and then see what's next. One more for good measure. which of course does take us to this Jupiter-Pluto square. Now, Pluto rules Scorpio. So this is very much in with the party. And what we really see here is, again, a limit being placed on our expansion based on our ability to let go, transform, and relinquish control. So if we are trying to control everything and we are trying to get other people to conform to what we want, we're going to see a big block on Jupiter trying to do its work in Libra in relationships. It's when we can relinquish that the expansion is going to happen in our relationships. That will come through freedom. It will come through space rather than through attempts to control. Now, this includes when we spiritual women try to tell our partners what they should be doing. If this is something that you have the tendency to do, I encourage you to download my mini ebook, The Awakened Women's Guide to Empowered Relationship, because I was the boss at this. And it's been a massive process for me to realize that I was actually cramping my partner's space. As far as, it wasn't until I got off his back that he was able to rise up into his true power. This is crucial, and it's something that a lot of spiritual women do. So a dynamic that's really highlighted this new moon. I encourage you to have a look at that if that's something that you feel you could be doing. The other dynamic that's there is between Saturn and Venus, which are actually conjunct with this new moon. So Saturn, Venus is interesting. They're quite contrasting planets. Venus is very pleasure focused. It's also our values and our money, and Saturn's quite restrictive. So money might be feeling tight at the moment. But what we're also seeing is the beginning of the new Saturn-Venus cycle, which is, that will go until Venus comes back around and joins with Saturn again, about 288 days, I believe. Don't quote me to that. I'd need to check it. But it's the beginning of this new cycle, and Venus also governs our values. And when we see it in Sagittarius sitting there with Saturn, what we've got here is the relationship between our beliefs and our values. It's like, how do they correlate? If we value conscious relationship, are we living that? Are we choosing that? Do our beliefs reflect that, or do we still have subconscious beliefs that are conflicting with the core values that we want to embody as awakened human beings? So if we're seeing a bit of a disconnect here, if we're seeing some discord, it's time to have a look at what those unconscious beliefs are that aren't aligned with what your soul wants to be living. Again, it's this digging up the subconscious work. It's really Plutonian, it's really Scorpion. It is a great time to get down and dirty in your mental faculties and say, what is holding me back here that can go? What do I not need to be feeding here? And it can be that simple. It's not about fighting it. It's about ceasing to participate. It's about removing the power from whatever it is that's aligned with the old that you no longer want to be playing in, and just shifting the focus away from that and saying, actually, no, I'm not going to feed that. I can't rewire my entire brain overnight as much as I'd like. Good old Saturn reminds us that we have physical limitations. However, I do have a choice in every moment as to which wolf I want to feed. And the wolf that we feed at the moment is going to grow very quickly. Like, it's quite a potent, powerful time as far as where we place our energy will be greatly magnified. And Jupiter in Libra is showing us that. And in this square to Pluto, it's not going to be very forgiving. Pluto's in Capricorn. If we really still want to be feeding the dark wolf now, dark wolf's going to play, and you'll see the consequences in your life. So if there ever was a time to love yourself onto the wagon and let those reins slide through your fingers and drop into your seat and say, let's ride this, honey. It's not about trying to fight the horse, control the horse. It's about, this horse is my deep soul. This black horse is my deep soul moving towards the north node of the moon, my evolutionary purpose. I trust where it's taking me. I'm not going to keep jumping off because I'm scared of my power. I'm not going to keep jumping off because I'm scared of going too fast or being propelled too fast towards my destiny. I'm willing to stay with this. I'm willing to trust my deep soul to guide me. I'm willing to trust the divine aspect of myself that knows what I need and knows what is right for me. And I'm willing to work in cooperation with it as opposed to self-sabotaging and spending this energy fighting, yeah? So that's also Neptune, which is on the south node of the moon in Pisces. The sun is shining on that trine with this new moon. If we have this past stuff, this self-sabotage and self-undoing and kind of escapist stuff still going on, the light's really going to get shone onto that. So yeah, I invite you to use that to your advantage, and rather than pulling the blanket over your head, step into the sun. Step into the sun with this one. Yes, Scorpio runs deep, but we have the wind at our backs. So let's, you know, step in to the light and dive deep and bring the light down with us and bring this into consciousness, because what is not owned will own us. So if we can own these darker aspects of ourselves and these shadowy aspects of ourselves, we're no longer at their mercy. So this is really cool. I think I mentioned Debbie Ford's book to you guys in the past, The Dark Side of the Light Chasers. Have a look. This is awesome shadow work, and it's all about reclaiming our wholeness and reclaiming our power. So I invite you to dive into that with all of the Scorpion energy around. I'm going to dive into the rest of my day because, breaths and all, I still feel like I'm bouncing off the walls. So it's exciting. It's exciting times at the moment. Yeah, I feel like I do need to go and get my feet on the earth or something. So if you're feeling the vibes too, I invite you to do the same. We're all human. And the more we can surrender to ourselves and our deep selves, the more we can come into alignment with that, and the more it will work in our favor. So I hope that is nourishing for you, even though I swear I do not have a clue what I've said this entire video. So I really hope it was helpful. I love you all so much. Get in touch. I'm doing sessions. www.theheartgarden.com.au. Really digging the coaching at the moment. It's feeling really supportive. The intuitive readings that I offer are looking less like a straight up reading and more like coaching with sporadic downloads. I call them my, you know, cosmic blahs. So if you feel like you need some cosmic blahs injected into your process, or you want some help tearing some blindfolds down, or you just want to come and have a bit of a play and loosen stuff up and get some stuff falling away on an energetic level, then let's dive in, have a squeeze at what I'm doing, and if it's feeling in alignment, I would love to see you. I can work remotely via phone or Skype, or you can come and see me in the Gold Coast hinterland. We are 15 minutes from Burleigh and 5 minutes from Rabina. And I think that's everything. I think I mentioned that I love you guys too, because I really do. And I'll talk to you soon. I'll see you very soon. I'll see you in a fortnight or a month. We'll see what happens. This full moon might be interesting, so you might see me sooner than you expect. Okay. Take care. So much love. See you later.